The story, Solomon and the Wise Judgment. In the ancient kingdom of Israel, there was a king named Solomon, renowned for his unparalleled wisdom. Solomon was the son of King David and was chosen by God to rule over Israel. One night, God appeared to Solomon in a dream and said, "Ask for whatever you want, and I will give it to you." Solomon, with humility, asked not for wealth or power, but for wisdom to govern his people justly. Pleased with his request, God granted him wisdom greater than any man before or after him. One day, a most unusual case was brought before King Solomon. Two women stood before the throne, both claiming to be the mother of the same infant. One woman stepped forward, tears streaming down her face, and said, "My lord, this woman and I live in the same house. I gave birth to a son, and 3 days later she also gave birth to a son. But during the night her son died. She took my living child and placed her dead son by my side while I was asleep. When I woke up, I found the child next to me was dead, but when I looked closely, I realized he was not my son." The second woman protested, "No. The living child is mine, and the dead one is hers." The two women argued passionately, each insisting that the living child was hers. The court murmured in confusion, unable to tell who was speaking the truth. All eyes turned to King Solomon, who sat silently, observing both women with a penetrating gaze. Then, with a calm yet commanding voice, King Solomon spoke. "Bring me a sword." The room fell silent, and the guards exchanged glances, uncertain of the king's intent. A guard stepped forward, holding a gleaming sword, and placed it in the king's hand. "Now," Solomon declared, "cut the living child in two, and give half to each woman." A gasp echoed through the court, and the first woman fell to her knees, crying out, "Please, my lord, give her the child. Do not kill him. Let him live, even if I cannot have him." But the second woman, her expression cold and unmoved, said, "Neither of us shall have him. Divide him." Solomon's eyes softened as he looked at the first woman, who was weeping uncontrollably. He raised his hand and said, "Do not harm the child. Give the living baby to the first woman. She is the true mother." The court was astonished by the king's judgment. They realized that only the true mother would rather see her child live, even if it meant giving him up. Word of King Solomon's wise judgment spread throughout Israel, and people marveled at the wisdom that God had bestowed upon him. From that day on, Solomon was not only known as a mighty king, but as a beacon of justice, whose discernment reflected the divine wisdom of God. His ruling became a symbol of fairness and understanding, a story told for generations as a testament to the power of true wisdom and the value of a mother's love.